It's my childhood. Lol, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. I love this show so much. My childhood is so good.
Ladies and jellyfish, rumbles of all sizes, welcome back to A.S.K's videos. If you're new here, I do cartoon reviews, and if you enjoy that kind of stuff, consider subscribing. Welcome back to my never-ending project to review every episode of SpongeBob in 10 words or less. Today, Season 6. I think I've done this so many times that the rules are just redundant. But for newer viewers, I will rate every episode of this season great, good, meh, bad, or boo, and give each a short review in 10 words or less. Anyway, we have 44 11-minute episodes, 2 specials, and 1 TV movie to cover. If you haven't seen the other season reviews, be sure to check them out in the card above, and check out the announcement video where I explained the rules more thoroughly. So let's get it on. Way too overhated because of the stupid toenail scene. A clever and unique episode that could have ended better. Flanderization of flanderization, ladies and jellyfish. It could have at least been a good, weirdly good. Even the good season 6 episodes have to be weird. The only shred of complete decency this season so far. Way too mean to SpongeBob as a character. Yeah, no. Can I strangle someone? Living like a cartoon reviewer without bias. Racial discrimination comments coming in 3, 2, 1. These writers still don't get it, do they? A meh. What a twist! An utter letdown on the writer's part. A cool premise, but execution was really hard on Plankton. Some of the worst this series has to offer. Would have been a great without Krabs winning in the end. Very funny indeed. They really can't do a good Gary episode, can they? The bored one is what they called me. One of Patrick's best appearances thus far. Despise is too nice a word for this. That twist actually got me. A bad episode for a simple reason. Was this episode cut for time or something? I don't know how to feel about this one. The lying moral is so easy yet so effective. At this point I'm struggling to spare myself, and I thought I was uncomfortable. Not the SquarePants was the better choice. Why is that even the title? Not memorable, clever, unique in the slightest. I think the title was misread from Pet and Pests. That failure was too easy. They probably think I'm gullible too, don't they? The plot is really good. They finally got Patrick's character right. The title is as clickbaity as a Vine compilation. Great, still overrated. The first half is decent, the second not. What's that? Slow and boring, but mildly cheeky. Oh, my Plankton. Oh, my beautiful character Plankton. Should have picked Truth. Frustrating, but I did laugh a bit. Good, but not special. Unfunny, unsensical, ungood characters. Ungood! Now it's time for the top and bottom 5. I think doing them separately like the last videos is a little mundane, so let's intermix them and do each number together. Number 5 best goes to Porous Pockets. This is a great callback to when Patrick was a likable character. The plot and moral work, and the characters make this all the more enjoyable. Number 5th worst is Truthers Square. This episode is amazing, guys. It is funny, the flashbacks are pretty fan servicey, and the characters are hilariously bounce off each other. The plot is very classic and simple, and the solution is well paced in the episode and not too early or late. And I loved a lot of the jokes, such as Patchy's awesome casting scenes, Mr. Krabs losing his wallet, and of course Patrick breathing on Scooter's neck, because who doesn't love that? So why is it number 5 worst? Well, because this season is so good, the comparison knocked it down a little. Number 4 worst goes to Sandcastles in the Sand. Now, before I start this review, yes, I do think this episode is severely overrated due to multiple reviewers such as Mr. Enter making videos on it and making it look better than I think it is. However, that's not to say that it isn't awesome. It may start a little wanky, but the plot and characters make this episode so worthy of watching. The battle of the two characters is epic and the animation makes it really creative. And the number 4 worst goes to Cephalopod Lodge. This episode is so annoying. We've seen Squidward getting tortured before. We've also seen SpongeBob and Patrick wanting to have Squidward join their club. We've also seen SpongeBob trying to help Squidward and screwing up. But we haven't seen them all together, so I guess that's the excuse we need for this to exist. Number 3 best goes to the Slumber Party. This episode is so hilarious. There were so many jokes interspersed in the plot, and it was just awesome all the way through. The plot of Mr. Krabs having a slumber party with SpongeBob while Pearl has one with her friends, and Mr. Krabs wanting SpongeBob to check on them is a great idea for an episode, and it leaves so much room for humor and character development. Number 3 worst, the Splinter. This episode is wrong in all the ways. It is boring, stale, and unneeded. The animation is horrible, and the characters of Squidward and Patrick are the worst. The comedy is non-existent, and the plot is stupid, and the disgusting overtone this has the nerve to put out is so insulting. Number 2 best goes to Not Normal. This episode is way too overrated for its own good, and that applies to most of the episodes in this top 5, but this is still great, and it would fit perfectly in seasons 3 and 4, I think. The plot is very smart, and it matches the characters of Squidward and SpongeBob, as well as Patrick's nice side. There isn't any gross out except for SpongeBob's eyes falling out if you consider that gross out. The comedy is on point, like the joke where the lady says she only talks to normal people as SpongeBob and Patrick are being weird. Number 2 worst boating buddies. So if you're a longtime fan and you've seen my disgusting trash video on the top 10 with Squidward torture episodes, you'd see that this episode was my least favorite Squidward torture episode. It is so utterly irritating that we still get Squidward getting tortured for no reason. Literally no reason. SpongeBob being a disgusting creeper who can't see 3 inches in front of his long stupid nose. The world is against Squidward, which I absolutely hate, as Squidward did literally nothing to deserve this. He wasn't mean, disgusting, or even egotistical. The plot may be fine with Squidward joining SpongeBob for boating school, but execution was so poor. It actually takes talent to take a concept so simple and make it into this thing. Can you really blame me for hating it? And the golden app goes to... No hat for Pat. Wow, I love this episode. Now, this episode, unlike literally every other choice on this list, aside from maybe Poor's Pockets, is extremely underrated for its own good. The plot is about Patrick wanting to have a work hat like SpongeBob and actually being determined to get it by asking Mr. Krabs and gradually going from being the guy who outside who holds a sign to being the Krusty Krab's main attraction by him falling on his head. And Patrick's determination and cool nature makes this all the more enjoyable, as you know Patrick's not being hurt mentally. And Mr. Krabs getting money from Patrick's pain is fine, as he gets his karma at the end. And it doesn't take you off by having him still win in the end like Krabby Chronicle. And the Squid torture at the end is completely justified, as it doesn't go on too long, and Squid actually deserved it. And this is actually funny. This is definitely season 6's best episode, and one of my all-time favorites of SpongeBob. And the rotten ep goes to... Choirboys. Oh boy, fasten your seatbelts, boys and girls. It's gonna be a real treat. But we can't all be winners. Although no half for Pat being amazing and awesome overall, this episode takes the cake for how atrocious it is. The plot, characters, comedy, animation, tone, dialogue, music, gross out sound effects, and everything put into this episode sucks. And that is enough to say. Now that all of that's done, let's get into the stats. I'm predicting at the time of writing this that this will be a bad season, and in fact the worst season so far in this project. So anyway, we had 6 grades, 9 goods, 9 mess, 13 bads, and 10 boos. Clearly this season is strongly bad. Just like last season, let's see which side, better or worse, has more episodes, and then find the average rating later. So with the which side is better thing, we can split meh into 4 and 4 and add great, good, and meh versus meh, bad, and boo, and see that the better side has 19 episodes while the worst side is 27. So we know that the bad side has more episodes, pretty obvious and self-explanatory. Then for the average, like last season, if you haven't seen, the link is in the description and the pinned comment, we'll give each rating an average percent and find the average percent, and we get about 60.11, which just barely fits into light meh, as it's in almost bad but just barely meh. Therefore, I think season 6 fits into bad perfectly. So here are all the golden and rotten apps for every season so far in this project. Anyways, don't forget to leave your thoughts on SpongeBob Season 6 in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you like what you see. If you're new, feel free to check out my YouTube homepage for videos, and check out my website for links and tons of spoilers. Links as always in the description below and card up above. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!
Beautiful dreamer out on the sea, mermaids are chanting the wild lorelei. Over the streamlet, vapors are born, waiting to fade at the bright coming morn. Beautiful dreamer, beam on my heart. e'en as the morn on the streamlet and sea. Then will all clouds of sorrow depart. Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me.